Two photographs taken on the same beach of the same poles with the same camera, just a few minutes apart. One is a record of a place. The other is an intentional photograph. The difference isn't in the edit. It's not in the light. It's in the decision I made before I pressed the shutter. If, like me, in your younger days, you shot film, and perhaps many of you still shoot black and white film today, that decision used to come naturally to me, but I've noticed it doesn't anymore. Somewhere along the way, it just stopped happening. Not because my eye failed, but because that switch to digital made it too easy for me. I stopped thinking about tone, and the habit just quietly slipped away. It hasn't disappeared, just the camera stopped asking for it. So today I'm going to show you how to get it back. I've changed two settings on my camera. In fact, I have a shortcut key that puts it straight into this mode. And the settings I've changed are, one is to show my preview with a black and white picture profile on it. So I'm immediately seeing the scene in black and white. The other is I've changed the preview aspect ratio to be square. So I think it's fairly obvious why you switch to black and white if you're doing a black and white project. Because naturally, if you're showing everything in color, it's very easy to be distracted by the color. And black and white forces you back to thinking in tones, in light and shade. The reason I chose square is because I've been quite influenced by Michael Kenner's work, and I noticed as his photography developed that most of his images switch to a 1:1 square format. And the beauty of it, I found, is it forces me to think more deeply about my composition. It's purely a personal choice. You could choose any format you like. But the benefit I've found is I'm mainly shooting landscapes, and it's easy to default to the landscape format of 3:2 that my camera always shows me. But by forcing it into 1:1, I really have to think about what's in my scene, what should I include, and more importantly, what should I leave out. So it's really improved, I think, my compositional techniques because I'm putting more thought into it. You can choose any ratio you like. The point isn't the ratio, it's choosing one on purpose that makes you think more intentionally about your photo. Of course, I always shoot raw, so I've always got the full aspect ratio and the full color raw image to go back to. So if I change my style further down the line, maybe I want to do a re-edit, I've always got that color photo to go back to. Let's look at those two photos again. So here's the original raw file. It's in color, it's a full frame, and you can see the post lost in an empty sea. It's a long exposure, so the water's smoothed out. And it's a competent photograph. And here's the square format cropped version, which was my vision when I was taking the photograph. If I hadn't made that decision before I pressed the shutter, I never would have got this image. Now, quite often this just doesn't work. If color is the main subject, if you're taking a picture of a field of poppies, or it's a sunset or sunrise, then color is a key part of the feeling of that image. And sometimes square won't work as a composition. Some landscapes, by their very nature, will lend themselves to be taken in a full portrait or a full landscape format. Don't force it. If you do, you're just forcing your composition into that square box, and it's not the right thing to do. Let me show you another example. As many of you know, I've been working on a project in the Yorkshire Dales, and one of the things I wanted to capture was a drove road. If you look at this color image, it's taken middle of the afternoon on a very bright sunny day, and any landscape photographer would probably not even attempt to take a shot like that, certainly not a color one. But when I came across this scene, because I was starting to think in black and white, I knew immediately this kind of zigzag of the drove road leading through the frame would give me the tonal contrast I need, but also that the square composition suited the format of the drove road, those two leading lines of the two walls leading you right into the frame and off into the distance to the fells and mountains beyond. And that's because I've been using this technique of previewing it. I recognize straight away because my brain is starting to tune in to that format and to look for those tonal contrasts. So what have you really lost? You've never really lost your eye. You've probably always had the ability to spot a good scene and a good photograph and a feeling that you want to convey to your viewer. It's just that you've got a viewfinder and a camera system that's made you lazy. So looking again is the discipline. And changing these settings is what helps you form that discipline. You will immediately see in tones and contrasts, light and shade, and you'll immediately start to see different compositions because you're composing for that different format. So why not give it a try? Set your camera up that way and see if it improves your photography. If you found that resonated with you, I have a free ebook called The Art of Intentional Black and White Photography, free to download. I'll leave a link in the description. And for those of you who are wondering, I usually convert my images using Nik Silver Efex. I'm on version 9 at the moment. If you'd like your own copy of that, I have a discount code that'll give you 15% off. I'll leave that in the description as well. In the meantime, let me know how you get on with this technique and if it really helps. So go out and have some fun with your camera, and I look forward to seeing you next time.